we welcome you to another live edition of The Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
On slow, it's all about the cash flow. So come on and get this money, man. Getting paper, and we always do it major on the slow, you know it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Game Winning Drive. Man, I'm excited for tonight because it's going to be our mid-season prediction show. We've done it for the last 5 or 6 years. It's a staple into our show, so I'm excited to get it. We were able to get Majin Buu out tonight, baby, and watch the game-winning drive. Austin's here tonight. You already know it's going to be a special night when he shows up. So let's get into it. We're going to get into our predictions. We're going to talk about who we think is going to win each award as the season comes to an end. And then we're also gonna predict awards the division winners that are going to win, that we think are going to win each division and playoffs and Super Bowl. It's going to be tons of fun. We're probably going to have a little bit of shocking moments. Just go along with us. Give us your questions and comments as the night goes. We got Fog coming up in a little bit, but, man, I'm excited to talk about this. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it, boys. So as we all know, before we get into all that, we had a couple of trades that went down today. Alex, what's the biggest one in your mind that like for a team? What team do you think won, and what team do you think lost from the trade deadline today?
Oh, the loss is easy. The fucking shitty ass Browns that I'm a fan of, getting rid of Zadarius Smith, who's the second best player on the team, pretty much, for basically a bag of chips and some freaking postcards. Like it was horrible. Like it's not a good trade. I felt like they could have got more. Yeah, whatever. I mean, they're in full rebuild mode, obviously, because they can't get away from that albatross contract from Deshaun Watson. So they by far were the biggest losers.
My God.
Biggest winners for me wasn't from trades today. I think the Chiefs are the biggest winners. I think DeAndre Hopkins adds a really polished element at the wide receiver position. I think he's going to make the rest of the wide receivers better by his professionalism, right? And no matter what you want to talk about him, he's a consummate professional, right? He shows up to work, he plays, he'll play hurt. Like he's the type of dude you want to kind of hopefully mentor some of these really talented young guys they got that have off the field issues and health issues. Maybe he can teach them how to like take care of their bodies better, things like that. So to me, the Chiefs won prior to trade deadline or for biggest trades this year because what are they, 8-0 now? Like, I mean, they were winning without him, and now they're just that much better, right? So
yeah. I agree, Alex. I definitely agree. Definitely agree on it. Austin, real quick, who's your winner and loser from today, and what transaction caught your eyes the most?
I'm gonna say the biggest loser is the Dallas Cowboys, and it's not because I'm an Eagles fan. I just think them going for Jonathan Mango and giving up a 4th rounder, I think that's asinine. Guy couldn't even start in the Carolina Panthers. What are we doing here? And their team's just with that going on IR. You might as well get your picks while you can. They should have been sellers more than buyers. So I'm gonna go for them for being the losers. Winners, I hate to say this, but Commanders getting Marshawn Lattimore. I think that's exactly what they need for that defense. Getting with Dan Quinn. I think that was the really piece they were missing on their defense was the corner, and I think that's going to help them out a lot. And hate to see them now twice a fucking year. So.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, brother. I agree with both of your decisions. I also agree with Alex too. I mean,
yeah, me too.
There's really not even a wrong answer. Alex picked the Chiefs as the biggest winner in the trade deadline. It doesn't have to just be for today. It could be these last couple weeks, and they did load up with DeAndre Hopkins that receiver who obviously is already paying dividends for Kansas City. I understand where Alex is coming from with the Browns. It's just a big mess over there right now. Austin, I agree with you. The Washington Commanders, I have them as my biggest winner of the day today. Marshawn Lattimore is going to load up on Dan Quinn's defense, gives them a guy that they need and all that. My loser, Austin, I'm with you. You took both my guys. It's the Cowboys. Yeah. The fact that you gave a fourth to Jonathan Mingo is absolutely comical when you had Mike Williams go for a fifth, I believe. Amari Cooper went for a third and a seventh. Deontay Johnson, I think he went for a fifth, a sixth for Baltimore. Yeah. It's really bad what the Jones family is doing. I don't understand what they're doing. It makes no sense. I think they're on crack.
I do.
But another team that I want to say before Fogg gets in here, a quiet team that made a move at the last second before the trade deadline went down was the Baltimore Ravens. I think getting White from the LA Rams is going to pay huge dividends for the secondary that's been kind of beat up this year. It's another weapon to add on to that defense and for the team overall. White brings a lot of experience. He plays a very good corner for Baltimore, and it's just abundance of riches for Baltimore. Fogg, real quick, who's your winner and loser, and what's the biggest transaction that caught your eye?
Well, the Tre'Davious White, that was the biggest one that caught my eye. The loser, you guys just discussed it. Dallas, they're just dumpster fire. They're becoming the New York Jets. And the big winner for me, I'm with you guys on this. The Commanders, again, Lattimore was huge. I think Zadarius Smith going to Detroit too. That's a sneaky one too.
Agreed. All right, boys. So let's get into it. We are going to do our choice for the 2024 NFL Awards. I have the thing showing up ready here. I'll zoom in right now real quick. We go from executive all the way to MVP. These were our votes, our predictions before the season started. So Drew has Matthew Stafford for MVP. Alex picked Mahomes. Fogg picked Mahomes, and Austin picked C.J. Stroud. But let's go to executives of the year first. That's gonna be our first one. I chose Terry Fontenot. Alex chose the same one. Fogg took Ryan Poles, and Austin, of course, took Howie Roseman. Shocker. So I put down Adam Peters for my executive of the year for the Washington Commanders.
Oh, you changed.
I think today solidified that a little bit more for the moves that they made. But overall, man, what a year for him! What a year for this organization to turn from such evilness a couple years ago to what they are now, and the selection that they made, having Daniels fall in their lap essentially, and the moves they made. I think he's clear and cut. Adam Peters should be executive of the year. Alex, you didn't give me yours, so which one are you? Are you sticking with your pick or
no? I'm on board with you. I agreed.
Okay.
I guess I just forgot, man. I'm sorry when I set the list, but
it's all good.
Yeah, I think it's clear cut that even if the Commanders somehow fell apart and don't make the playoffs, like the potential that for the future there is insane, right? Like they're just going to get better, right? And I don't know if most people remember, but I said on the draft show Jaden Daniels was going to be better than Caleb Williams, and he looks like he is. And he looks like he is, does he not? That's all I got to say. Like, I get it. It's a different franchise, different coaching, like all of that stuff I understand. But Jaden Daniels looks more polished immediately. He looks better.
Let me ask you real quick before we move on, Fogg. I saw something today, and maybe we should start talking about it a little bit more. Does Cliff Kingsbury deserve a lot of credit?
I would say he does. I don't see why not. I mean, look, we saw what he did with Kyler Murray, and I think I will say I feel like Kingsbury's playbook is a little more open now than it was with Kyler Murray. And I think I think because he's a little more comfortable. It's like, okay, I'm not the head coach. I can just fill this role, and this is my focus. And I think he's able to focus better on the quarterback that he's got and leveraging what Jaden Daniels' strengths are and what that offense's strengths are.
Some guys are just meant to be offensive coordinators.
Mhm.
Norv Turner's a perfect example, right? Norv was an absolute stud at offensive coordinator. Every time he became a coach, it's like it was too much, right? He couldn't handle all of it, every aspect, right? Like it takes a special guy to be the man, right? And handle all of it, right? So hopefully Cliff understands that, but I'm sure he'll probably venture back into head coaching at one point in time because they all seem to retread, like
Fog, are you sticking with your pick or you got someone new?
No, I'm rolling with you guys on this one. I didn't see Washington being this way, but man, how do you not select them?
I just didn't think they were a quarterback away. I knew it was the right pick. I just didn't think that he was going to be that. He was going to improve the team. They look like a totally different franchise.
Agree. Austin, you want to say anything else, or are you good to go?
I'm good.
All right, man. All right, so let's get back to Coach of the Year. So Coach of the Year, I took Raheem Morris. Alex took Raheem Morris. Fogg took Shane Steichen. And Austin took Mike McDonald. So with that being said, I am going to go with Dan Quinn. Two other guys took Dan Quinn in our pickings. I mean, obviously, we don't need to get into it, but Dan Quinn is obviously a big miss for Dallas defense. But real quick, Alex, you took Sean Payton. Why Sean Payton?
Just because I think like a lot of people did not expect a lot out of Denver this year, and I truly think they're going to be the 7th and final wild card. You'll see on my predictions later, right? I just think to me, it kind of shows that I think Russ is done, right? Like I understand what he's done in Pittsburgh. He's looked serviceable, right? But he just wasn't the right fit in Denver. And he's got a true rookie that had a rough start, and he stuck with him, and he's coached him up, and now they look serviceable. And they have a great defense. I understand they just got slaughtered by Baltimore, but Baltimore's, is one of the 3 teams that I really think has a shot to win the Super Bowl. So that's expected, right? That offense is chugging along there in Baltimore. So it makes sense that they tore apart that defense in Denver. And they have a good defense, right? So when you score those type of points and then your defense isn't on the field that much in the Ravens, I mean, it tends to happen, right? You blow people out. So, I just think Sean Payton has done a lot with what I thought was going to be a throwaway year.
Got you. Okay, so Fogg, you also have Dan Quinn, and then obviously Brian's not here. Brian told me it's a tie between Sean McVay and Mike Tomlin. Austin, you also have Dan Quinn. Anything else you want to add into that, or do you want to move on?
You good? We can move on.
No, we're good.
Comeback player of the year. I chose Aaron Rodgers. Alex took Kirk Cousins. Fogg took Anthony Richardson.
That's a bad miss there, Fogg.
And Austin took Aaron Rodgers.
He could still come back as a starting quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you had Burrow.
I changed mine. I took J.K. Dobbins. I'm not going to talk on it, Austin. Let's hear from you. Why did you choose J.K.?
Oh, man, this guy's gone through it. We had Achilles and then an ACL. And then he's not a lot of guys after coming out tearing their Achilles, they look like the way he's looking, man. He's been running the ball. He looks good. He looks fresh. He looks like the J.K. Dobbins that the Baltimore Ravens drafted that we're hoping for.
Hey, it looks like he's playing at Ohio State again.
Yeah, he looks great, man.
What I saw for 3 years.
I love that story. I love that story, bro. It's a comeback story, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of running backs suffer those type of injuries and come back, dude. So you got to give it to him.
Fogg, you are the only person besides Brian who took a quarterback. You went with Joe Burrow. I'm with you on Joe Burrow. That was my original pick, but then my brother convinced me by looking at it, and then Alex seeing it. I was like, J.K. Dobbins, it's true. The dude has come back from back-to-back horrific injuries, but what makes you want to go with Burrow?
Dobbins was my second choice. Burrow, just because he's come back, and amidst the way that entire team looks, especially that defense, he's carrying that defense that looks like a JV football team. I mean, they're putting out a practice squad on the football field every time they're playing defense. And Burrow's putting up numbers. This guy's a top 5 statistical quarterback right now, and you can make an argument and a strong case, even though they don't have a winning record. He's an MVP because without him, they would be worse than the Jets.
I agree. Anybody pose? Love it. We don't need to really get into defensive rookie of the year. We all took Jared Verse besides our certified Eagles fan. Austin, why in the hell? I get it, but over Verse, you taking Quinyon Mitchell?
I mean, he's doing better numbers than Sauce Gardner as a rookie. He hasn't gave up a touchdown. He hasn't gave up a 100-yard receiving. He hasn't even gave up a 50-yard receiving. He's been shut down. Dude's been locked down. For a rookie to do that coming in, you know you're gonna get the most targets because you got Darius Slay on the other side. Who would you rather pick on, a rookie or him? I feel like he's holding his ground, and you don't see a lot of corners coming in playing like that, man.
Is anybody opposed to his pick?
I mean, it's a homer pick, but it's fine. Like you can make an argument. I don't think it's a valid one, but you can make an argument.
Here's our picks for the beginning of the season for defensive rookie of the year. Leolatu was my pick. Byron Murphy was Alex's. Fogg is the only one to get the state right so far as Jared Verse.
That makes up for Anthony Richardson.
It does. It does.
All right. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Offensive rookie of the year. I took Caleb Williams. Alex took Bo Nix. Fogg took Jaden Daniels once again. Fogg was on it for the rookies. Austin took Caleb Williams. I don't think any of us, all of us went Jaden Daniels. We don't really need to talk about it. The kid's been absolutely a stud. What a find for Washington. RPO. I think everything was just a beautiful mix with Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Scary Terry is fantasy relevant again. Zach Ertz has been having a resurgence at tight end, and it's all because of this kid. This kid's been playing absolutely phenomenal. I mean, anybody else want to add anything into it?
Cliff gets a lot of congrats too, man. He's been scheming really good.
Yeah, the reason, if you remember, I didn't go with Jaden was because I just didn't think he was going to be able to do what he's done, right? Like I knew he was probably the best quarterback in the class, but I just didn't think he would turn around a franchise. Like everybody's playing at a different level, and he's really the only big piece that they have that changed from last year to this year. It's like, man, like it shows you what a franchise quarterback does to your organization.
Yeah,
they did add some interior linemen.
Right, offensive line. I get that, but I mean like the sexy piece that they added, right?
I agree with you.
Coaching is extremely important, man.
What was that, Fogg?
Coaching's extremely important. Bringing in
100%, coaching, 1,000%.
Dan Quinn is he's a leader, man.
Yep,
he's done it before. It's hard. It's amazing when you get different coaching how different players start playing. It's just it's that's why coaching matters so much in football. It's crazy. Let me get back to sheet one for defensive player of the year. I took Max Crosby. Alex took TJ Watt. Fogg and I were on the same page, taking Max Crosby. Austin took Josh Allen. We are now changing our picks. I took safety Xavier McKinney. Alex sticks with his pick at TJ Watt. Fogg and I, once again, are on the same page, Xavier McKinney. Brian took TJ Watt. And Austin took Trey Hendrickson. Austin, why Trey? Is it because he's leading in sacks?
Leading sacks, and I believe he's leading in pressures now too. Got to give it to him. They usually give it to the guy with the most sacks.
Except for last year.
Last year?
Yeah,
Who was it last year?
They gave it to Miles. And TJ played 3 less games and had 3 more sacks than him. So I'm just saying.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, they kind of broke the trend last year. But you're normally right. That's normally what happens, right? The guy leads in pressures and sacks, normally gets the award.
I would love to see McKinney get it. He's been killing it. I think he was, 7 picks, 6 picks?
Yeah, 6 picks. He's leading picks. I know. Real quick, Fogg, why Xavier?
Because he's anchoring that secondary. That secondary sucks for some reason. They are just not playing good. And without him there, I think they, as a team, they have 10 interceptions total. He accounts for 6 of them. I think he's also leading in pass deflections. So he's having a phenomenal season. If they didn't have him back there, who knows where they would be.
I agree. All right, let's get to our offensive player of the year predictions. I took Breece Hall. Alex took CMC. He never had a shot. Fogg took Josh Allen. And Austin took Saquon Barkley.
Saquon,
sorry. My offensive player of the year when the season ends is going to be Lamar Jackson for me.
Oh, wow.
Derrick Henry for Alex. Derrick Henry for Fogg. Saquon for Brian. And Derrick Henry for Austin. So, guys, the reason why I went with Lamar Jackson and offensive player of the year, obviously he's playing the best at quarterback right now. He's number one. I think for me, the reason why I went this way is because I got Derrick Henry winning MVP. And the reason why I have him winning MVP because I think he's going to go on a crazy run with touchdowns. And my prediction for Derrick Henry when the season's all done, because I know the Ravens are going to want to conserve LJ as much as they can. And I think Derrick Henry is going to take a blood of this load and off his shoulders. And so I think in my prediction, Derrick Henry is going to tie Steven Jackson for 28 touchdowns. He won't come to LT, but I think he'll have 28. And for a guy that's 30 years old, having 28 touchdowns and over 2,000 rushing yards, I think it'd be really hard to not give it to Derrick Henry. So I took Lamar as my offensive player of the year. Brian's not here to talk about Barkley. So Fogg, Henry, what we got for him?
Well, listen, I'll speak for Brian on Barkley because I think Barkley's right there on Henry's heels, to be honest with you. And if Saquon can put up 2,000 total yards offensively and put up 20-plus touchdowns, it's neck and neck depending on where the Eagles are going to finish this season and where the Ravens finish this season. So you can make the case for Barkley. I'm with you with Henry because I think Henry is probably going to get close to that 28 mark. I don't think he's going to go he'll get it, but I think at 24 to 26 touchdowns is very possible and over 2,000 yards rushing. If he's able to eclipse over 2,000 yards and gets 25 touchdowns, yeah, it's going to be hard not to say
Mhm.
he's the MVP. But if Lamar Jackson continues to play the way he's playing and finishes top 1 or 2 quarterbacks statistically on the year, look, the award has gone 16 of the last 17 seasons to a quarterback. It's going to be hard to pull off of that.
Agree. So let's just get to MVP. We already talked about it. The only guy on here besides me is Alex. He has Patrick Mahomes. Alex, why do you want to go with Patrick? Probably his worst stat-wise season.
Cool. I think it's going to be real hard to argue, and the guy finishes 16-1 or 15-2, and he's got the best record with what we've considered his most depleted offensive weapons. Now, I know that they traded and they made a good pickup at wide receiver with Hopkins, so that might change it. But I agree with you that I think Derrick Henry is going to carry the load down the stretch, which is going to kind of shrink Lamar Jackson's numbers, which normally Offensive Player of the Year goes to a running back and MVP goes to a quarterback. And we haven't seen the second half of the year, right? So my prediction is Patrick Mahomes, now that he has DeAndre Hopkins, is going to start putting up some numbers again, right? You saw Kelsey had a pretty good week, right? Like it changes it. It opens that offense up, right? To where I think, with the 8-0, if they finish, like I said, 15-2, 16-1, if he has in the ballpark numbers, it's going to be hard not to give him the thing. And let's be honest, he hasn't won enough MVPs yet, like for his talent level,
I think from a personal standpoint, you want Mahomes to win so you can leapfrog him over Peyton Manning.
No, he's already over Peyton Manning. It's not even close.
I'm kidding.
Like, they're not even in the same fucking room in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, we're moving on. All right, so that is our predictions for awards. So let's get into our divisional. So how we're gonna do it, guys, is we're just gonna go on a. So real quick, these are our picks. Beginning of the season.
We were terrible.
Jesus Christ.
So I'll start with me. I had the Chiefs winning the West. Texans are winning the South. North was the Ravens. And the Jets were the East. My 3 wild card teams, the Cincinnati Bengals, Indy Colts, and the Los Angeles Chargers. I had the Texans against the Jets in the conference for the AFC title. And I have the Texans winning the championship. I mean, going to the Super Bowl. So this is now. I have the Chiefs going to win out the West. I have the Texans win out the South. The North, I have the Ravens. Obviously, all of us are going to pick the Buffalo Bills because they have like the 10-game lead on everybody else, it seems like, in the East. Pittsburgh Steelers, I switched out for the Bengals. I have them at 5. I had the Chargers 6, and then I had the Jets 7. I took out the Bengals just to explain to everybody. I think their schedule is just going to destroy them. I think the Broncos are going to lose out those last 2 weeks. They're not going to make it. The Colts are not going to make it because they're just complete shams right now because of everything that's going on. So with that being said, boys, I have the Chiefs as my number 1 seed. They're going to have the bye. My number 2 seed is going to be the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills will play the Jets. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills are going to win that game. My number 3 seed is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to play the Chargers. Baltimore is going to mollywop my Chargers. The Texans are going to play the Steelers. And, boys, this is going to be my upset. Steelers are going to beat the Texans at Houston. For the divisional round, obviously the Chiefs will be playing the Steelers. I have the Chiefs winning. And then we will have the Baltimore Ravens against the Buffalo Bills in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry to be too much for that defense of Buffalo. We got Baltimore advancing against Kansas City in Kansas City. And we're going to have a double overtime game in the conference championship as the Chiefs will lose to the Baltimore Ravens. I had the Baltimore Ravens making it to the Super Bowl. So we'll start with Alex. Alex, you see what's on there for what you have. So now I want you to tell us the journey that you have for your second half and the rest of the season.
All right, so the only real wait, no. Oh, you didn't put my teams up there. What are you doing, bud?
You tell me.
I did tell you. I sent you the
No, right now. Tell me right now.
Okay. So I got the Ravens winning the North, Kansas City winning the West, Texans winning the South, Buffalo winning the East. Like we're all the same, right?
Okay.
The difference is I have Kansas City as the number 1 seed, Ravens the number 2 seed, Buffalo number 3, and Texans number 4. Then my wild card teams are the Steelers, which is my 5th wild card team. My 6th is the Chargers, and my 7th is Denver. Because I can't see a world where the Jets sneak into the playoffs. Sorry, man. It's just they're putrid. They're putrid. So that obviously means that the Ravens will play the Broncos. We saw what happened in that matchup. That's going to be another slobber knocker where they just beat them stupid, right? Then the Bills are going to play the Chargers. Like you said, again, the Bills are going to beat the Chargers. Sorry. And then the Texans will play the Steelers. And I think the Texans somehow squeak out a win. But I could see them losing to the Steelers. But I think the Texans somehow squeak out a win, right? So that matches up the Ravens and the Texans and the Bills and you're right. Yeah. Ravens and Bills and Texans and Chiefs, right? So Chiefs winning against the Texans, obviously. Ravens winning against the Bills. And I have the Ravens beating Kansas City in Kansas City.
Wow. Just like me. All right, Fogg.
Man.
We have your teams right here. This is what you picked beginning of the season. Pretty much all the same besides a few. And so let's hear your journey.
All right, well, might as well just the division winners are the same for me.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be the same for everybody, right?
Yeah, division winners right now are the same for me.
Agree.
Got you.
As far as the wild card, I'm going to have the Steelers at 5. I'm gonna put the Chargers at 6 and the Bengals at 7.
Okay.
So we're all in agreement through 6 so far. Like who we see is the top 6 seeds.
Well, we have to wait for Austin.
No, so far that's what I said.
Oh,
words matter, my friend. Words matter.
All right, Fogg.
And so I'm going to have the Bills beating the Bengals, the Ravens beating the Chargers, and then I'm going with the Tomlin special. I'm taking the Steelers to upset the Texans.
Okay, that's good.
I like that. If it comes out, that's going to be a hell of a game. I tell you that right now. That's going to be a hell of a game. But then that's going to put what? Kansas City against the Steelers. I think Kansas City wins that one. The Bills and Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens, and I'm sticking with Kansas City, man. Defense wins, and while I believe the Ravens are getting better, it's Spags, and if this man hasn't proven already what he can do defensively as a D, like he is a Jimmy Johnson protege. Andy Reid literally found his second Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Like it's insanity.
All right, Oz. Tell us the journey.
Same division.
Okay, got him on there.
I got Pitt as well.
And Chargers?
Absolutely not.
Oh man, the brotherly hate shows.
I just don't see them doing it, man. And then I got the Jets.
Do you see the Jets doing it?
Yep.
All right.
Gee,
They're about to find it. They're going on a heater.
Oh yeah, a
And
heater right down
who's
the
final
hole
spot?
of the toilet.
Cincinnati.
A heater down the hole of the toilet. That's where the Jets are going, bud. That's the only.
All right,
place.
Austin.
So I got Houston.
Okay, go ahead.
Houston playing the Bengals.
You got the Houston as the number 2 seed?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I think Baltimore falls out.
Oh my!
I'm just joking. I got Baltimore.
Hold on.
Versus Cincinnati.
So you got Houston against Cincinnati. Who's winning?
No, I got Baltimore versus Cincinnati.
He's messing
Okay.
around.
I was joking.
Baltimore against Cincinnati. Who's got in that game?
Baltimore. I mean, I don't know what we're really talking about. But it's gonna be Baltimore versus Kansas City in the AFC Championship. So
Okay.
but if you want me to keep going, so we got Baltimore
No,
number
that's
2.
fine.
They're gonna be playing Cincinnati. They'll win. Baltimore will win. I think Buffalo gets the 3rd seed. They'll play the Jets. I got the Jets winning that game. And then you got Houston playing Pittsburgh. I agree with you guys. I think Mike Tomlin shows what's up. He knows how to do the playoffs. He knows what to do postseason. I think he shocks the world and beats Houston.
Okay.
And then I have Baltimore playing the Jets and Kansas City playing Pittsburgh. Sorry,
No,
Kansas City playing the
Vice
Jets.
versa. Vice versa.
Yeah, otherwise,
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Kansas City
Okay.
playing the Jets, and then Baltimore playing Pittsburgh.
And then obviously,
Okay,
Kansas
who-
City
who-
wins, Baltimore wins.
Who
Yeah.
you got
Obviously
to the Chiefs
Baltimore.
and Ravens?
Kansas City.
Oh
So we
man, we're
got 2
split
guys
down the
on
middle.
Kansas City, and we got 2 guys on Baltimore. Brian makes the 5th pick. All right. Let's get to the NFC, and I did not do. Okay, there we go. All right. So I took the Eagles in the East, the Falcons in the South, the Lions in the North, the Niners in the West. The Rams, Packers, and Bears were my wild card teams. I had the Lions and the Niners in the conference championship, and I had the Lions representing the NFC. That was before the season. It's changed up. I got the Eagles in the East. I got the Falcons in the South. I got the Lions in the North. I got the Rams in the West. I took Green Bay as my 5th seed. I took the Washington Commanders as my 6th seed. And I had the Minnesota Vikings limping in at number 7. The reason why I dropped Washington, and I think they're not going to win the East, is just Philly's too strong. I think defensively, it's just like that rookie magic is eventually going to catch up with them. And they're going to take a couple losses. They have one of the toughest second half schedules in the NFL, and so I think Philly's going to be able to leapfrog them. So with that being said, Detroit's going to have the number 1 seed, fellas. So that they're going to have that bye. The number 2 seed is going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to be able to jump the Eagles. Eagles will have the 3rd seed. Rams will have the 4th. So with that being said, the Minnesota Vikings will be playing the Atlanta Falcons. I had the Atlanta Falcons winning that game, and Kirk Cousins shaking off some demons in the wild card. The 3rd seed, which will be the Philadelphia Eagles, they will play against the Washington Commanders, and it's going to be a clean sweep for the Eagles as they beat the Washington Commanders in the wild card. And then I have the Rams against the Packers, a rematch once again. This time, the LA Rams are going to win and shock the world. They're going to beat Green Bay. Going to the divisional, Eagles will be playing against the Washington Commanders, and I will have. Oh no, I'm sorry. Did I say Washington or did I mess it up? The Lions. The Lions will be playing the Rams, and I have the Lions winning that game. And then it's the Eagles against the Falcons. I have the Eagles being the Falcons. Lions against the Eagles. I have the Lions making it to the Super Bowl, boys. People freeze or what? Hello?
You're good. You want me to
You're
start?
good.
Yeah.
All right. So first three are all the same. The West, I have the 49ers pulling a rabbit out of a hat somehow. Maybe some people get healthy and come back. Oh, you doubled it up. You messed up, man.
Mm-hmm. Go keep talking.
I'm waiting for you to finish filling the thing out, you turd. Then in fifth, I had no, I lied to you. I'm sorry. I have Washington winning so it's Washington, Atlanta, Detroit, San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, Washington win the East.
Yeah, that's my bad. Yep, sorry. And then I have Philly as the 5th seed. I have Green Bay as the 6th seed, and Minnesota finishing as the 7th seed.
Where you have the West?
Green Bay, Minnesota.
No, West.
Oh, I said San Francisco. Somehow they figure it out.
Okay. And then you have Philly, Green Bay, and then you said Minnesota?
Minnesota, yep. So then, obviously, I have Detroit with the best record. I have Atlanta with the second best record. No, Washington with the second best record. Atlanta third, and obviously San Francisco squeaked in to win the division fourth. Right. So that means Detroit gets the bye, meaning Washington plays Minnesota. Washington beats Minnesota. The Falcons play Green Bay. I think Green Bay beats the Falcons. Then I have San Francisco obviously playing the Eagles. I have the Eagles beating San Francisco easily.
Ooh.
Then it comes down to, so we're at, what's Green Bay, the lowest seed, right? Yeah. So
Yep.
Washington, Green Bay, and then Detroit and the Eagles. I have Detroit and
No. I thought you said Detroit has the number 1 seed.
yeah, okay. So Detroit and Green Bay,
Green
and
Bay.
then Washington and the Eagles.
There you go.
And I have the Eagles getting revenge on Washington there for losing the division, I think, in the last game of the season. And I have Detroit obviously winning against Green Bay, and then Detroit going on to the Super Bowl. So I have Detroit versus Ravens.
You don't say anything yet.
Nope.
All right, Fog, take us on your journey.
I'm going with Philadelphia to win the division, Atlanta, Philly to win the East,
Okay.
Atlanta in the South, Detroit in the North, and San Francisco in the West.
Yeah, smart man. You just cursed yourself by agreeing with me, buddy.
When you said San Fran, I was like, oh, fuck, I thought I was going to be the only one.
Yeah, I did too. I thought for sure I was going to be the only one.
You're 5, 6, 7.
I've got the Commanders at 5, the Packers at 6, and the Vikings at 7. It's
Man.
me and Alex just got one flip.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And in all honesty, I'm rolling with the Eagles and the Lions going to the Super Bowl.
We're all
Because-
across.
because I think the Lions will wind up playing the Packers because I think the Packers will beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
Austin, tell us your journey.
I got the same as Fog with the division winners.
What?
Wow.
Man, what the far?
I'm the only one that took the Rams.
And then I
can't imagine the Rams winning it, bud.
And I
It's
got
an ugly
Washington.
division, though.
I do. 5, 6, 7, Austin. Austin.
Then I got Washington, Rams, and Green Bay.
Ooh, okay. A little curveball there.
All right. Who's the number 1 seed?
Number 1 seed is Detroit,
Who's the number 2?
Philly,
Who's number 3?
Atlanta.
All right, so San Francisco's playing Green Bay.
Of course, yeah.
Who's winning?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Philly's playing Green Bay.
Philly. I got Philly.
Yeah.
And then I got Washington versus Detroit.
No.
And I got Detroit winning that game.
You said Detroit's the number 1 seed.
Oh, you want to go through all the wild card? My bad. I'm sorry. I thought we were just doing the division to the.
No, just if you just want to do the conference, just do the conference.
Conference is going to be Eagles and Detroit. Detroit's going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Imagine that. We all got the same.
I did not expect us to all pick Detroit.
I mean, we'll probably.
They're hitting on all cylinders, bro. They're the best team in the NFL right now.
And they just
think.
added Zadarius, which is a huge piece on defense. Their defense is going to just look. He was like the missing piece we needed with Garrett for all those years, and then we got him, and then of course our quarterback situation. So we traded him to, I don't know, save some cap money. I don't know what the reasoning is. Maybe they felt some loyalty to him and they wanted to get him in a good spot. I don't know, but.
And that defense is playing much better. The Lions defense is playing much better than it
did
last year. And that kid, Kirby Joseph, is playing phenomenal.
Yeah, he looks like a
I
star.
love that kid, Brian Branch, man.
Oh, yes.
That boy's a baller.
All right, so we're going to do our Super Bowl picks now. Let's do it. Because we got a bunch to get through.
Super Bowl to get through here. For me, it's the Baltimore Ravens against the Detroit Lions. I think it's going to be a really good game. Both teams are pretty similar in a lot of things that they could do. And at the end of the day, I think in our heart of hearts, I'm going to go – I want to see both guys win.
Yeah.
I really do. Jared Goff being traded from LA to Detroit and Stafford win a ring, and I want to see Jared Goff win a ring. I want to see Dan Campbell win a ring, but I also want to see Lamar Jackson win a ring and shut off.
And Derrick Henry, those are two guys that deserve it too. It's one of those things.
Honestly, it's a really tough Super Bowl to pick if you're not a fan of, like a diehard fan of the Ravens and Lions. I think injuries aside, obviously, boys, I'm going to go with the better team for me. I just think Dan Campbell's going to shoot himself in the foot. The moment's going to be too big for him, and I think he's going to make some big, bad decisions and learn the experience. Meanwhile, you have Harbaugh, who's already a champion. I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson winning his first ring, and Derrick Henry. MVP is going to go to Zay Flowers.
Well, stop it, bro. He better have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, bro. For them not to give it to Lamar, it's going to be tough.
Baltimore Ravens will win 33-30.
Oof. That'd be a good Super Bowl.
All right.
So I as well have Detroit and Baltimore. And again, it's a tough one for me for all the reasons you discussed, right? Like, I really think if you could, like, talk to McVay in a private room that it never got released, I don't think he would have traded for Stafford. I think he could have won with Goff. He just needed to figure it out, right? Look what Goff's doing, man. Like, he's playing really good quarterback. Like, and so I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. I think it's a much lower scoring game, though. I'm gonna say 23-17. I think defense kind of rules the day. I think we have two really good offenses going against each other, but I think that the Ravens have kind of like really solidified what they're supposed to do, right? Like what they've been supposed to do for years, right? Lamar is firing on all cylinders. Him and Henry have the most yards without contact in the NFL. They're 1 and 2. That means their offensive scheme is insane, right? Like they're running through open holes, right? And I just don't know how you can't give Lamar Jack, because he's probably going to have 250 plus passing yards, probably 2 passing touchdowns, maybe 85 to 100 rushing yards with another rushing touchdown, right? Like it's going to be somewhere like that, right? Like I don't know that Henry scores in that game. I think it's going to be scramble, right? It's going to be passing. They're going to make them beat them through the air. They're going to stack the box and be like, either you scramble or you beat us through the air. You're not winning on the ground against us, right? And they have the defense to do that now that they added Za'Darius, right, in Detroit. So I think Lamar wins it. I like the Zay Flowers pick. I think it'd be cool because I think he's really special. But I just think it's really hard for the quarterback not to win MVP. It's very rarely that happens. Like, so yeah.
All right, Fogg, go ahead, brother.
I would love to see Detroit win it. I'll be rooting for him to win it. And I'd love to see Jahmyr Gibbs get the MVP.
Ooh.
I would love it, but
Like
I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to go with Kansas City. I'm going to go with defense, and the MVP is going to be Chris Jones.
Wow, really? He better have Super Bowl of a lifetime for a defensive tackle, bud.
All right, Austin, you got Kansas City.
In Detroit.
Who you got?
It's going to be a 3-peat, boys. I got Kansas City. I got them 38-27. And obviously, the easy answer is go with Patrick Mahomes. He's going to win it. We all know that. Let's go to the ending story. It's going to go to Travis Kelce. He's going to retire, and done. 3-peat, end it.
Kareem Hunt's going to win it.
Yo, how crazy would that be? Like, my man got chased out of town. He took a couple years, couple different places. He comes back, and now he's like the prodigal son returns. They love him again, right? It's just wild.
It's crazy.
First team to 3-peat, man.
Yeah,
That's
listen,
crazy,
if
man.
they
That's
3-peat,
crazy.
bud.
They have the best shot to do it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like
Best shot to do it. And I trust Andy Reid more than Dan Campbell in the big game.
I mean, I think that's the same thing. The reason why I picked the Ravens over Detroit, right? I think it's pretty much neck and neck. Like it's 1A and 1B as far as rosters, right? Like they're equally talented.
Oh, absolutely.
The head coaching edge goes to Harbaugh 1,000%.
It's honestly it's all just to see the Detroit Lions make the Super Bowl would be a story in itself.
Yeah,
just because of how horrid the franchise has been back in the days of Barry Sanders. I mean, Alex and Fogg, you guys could both attest to it because you guys are a little bit older than me. That the Lions were mediocrity for the majority of
Mediocrity. No,
Existence.
they were below mediocrity, bud. They were.
Besides,
they
well,
were. They were
They had
like
laughing
2 years of
stock.
Barry.
They
Like
had
a few years of
two.
Barry.
They had two playoff appearances, I think, with Barry.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Barry's not on that
Oh, yeah.
team, that
Oh,
team
no.
is a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Like they're the Aints, right? They're back. Their fans are
You,
wearing bags.
you
on
almost
their
feel
heads.
like they wasted the years of Barry Sanders and
They
Herman Moore
wasted
when Herman
two-
Moore was there.
They wasted 2 Hall of Fame careers, man.
Yeah,
Calvin Johnson.
Megatron,
Calvin Johnson.
Johnson, and Barry Sanders. It's like
So-
it's like the Chargers wasting Philip Rivers'
LT.
career. Philip Rivers and LT and Junior Seau and like, all these guys, they could never get one win. Like they couldn't win one for these guys. Like Jesus.
I don't know why you're talking. You have 0 championships as well, dude. Why are you talking? You
Incorrect.
traded for
Don't
a
say
racist,
that.
and now
Don't
you
say.
guys are screwed with him
Don't
for
say
2
the
more
word.
years.
Don't say the word championships because you just really lost a lot of clout, bud. Because we got 4 and you still have none.
Oh my God, you don't have any. Shut your mouth.
We have 4
Anyways.
championships, my friend.
No, you don't.
I hate to break it to you.
Anyways.
Learn your facts.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Anyways,
Football
so-
existed before the Super Bowl era, but I hate to break
Exactly.
it to you.
Chargers have championships too. Full. Listen,
Chargers ain't got shit.
I
bro.
want to say something. I want to say something about.
They had Stan Humphries and
The Chiefs.
Natron Means.
I want to say something about the Chiefs. If they do end up three-peating,
Oh my god.
does that? We haven't even talked about that yet. If that happens, does Mahomes have a case to put him at 2 all time?
No.
Not at all.
No.
What makes you so confident saying no? Because you know a lot of people are going to be pushing
Well,
for him
listen,
to not Brady stature, but close to
his
it.
career isn't done yet. His career isn't done yet. Let's see. I think he's going to be a top 5, top 3 greatest quarterbacks of all time. I think that's almost guaranteed and certain. But just because he three-peats, listen, he's going to have to turn this season around because right now he looks like Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning went to a Super Bowl and won with mediocre stats. He was just whatever. All right, he's got 2 Super Bowl wins. 1 Super Bowl, he didn't even deserve the fucking MVP. He should have went to the running backs, a dying Dominic Rhodes. And the second one, he was non-existent. It was the Denver defense.
He didn't win an
So
MVP.
if Patrick Mahomes could get to the Super Bowl, they could win, and he could be serviceable like he's been, just showing up when he needs to show up in the clutch, and the defense carries him. Doesn't mean it's going to propel him. Again, it's the consummate team sport. If a 3-peat propels anybody's career to a stratosphere that is
Andy
like,
Reid.
oh shit, it's going to be Andy Reid's career. Exactly.
To me,
Okay.
I mean, to
Well,
me,
to Andy, hold on now. To Andy Reid, then, does that make him the greatest coach of all time?
That makes a hell of an argument for it.
it makes him my personal GOAT for coaches.
I thought he already was your personal GOAT.
No, he's in my top 3 already, but it makes him my personal GOAT because of all the shadiness surrounding Belichick with
Yeah.
Spygate, Deflategate,
Yeah.
fucking, banging 22-year-old little girls, like all that stuff. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I brought that up. I apologize. But
That's your
no,
quarterback. That's your
Can't find a quarterback
I
after
mean-
Tom Brady.
huh?
Can't find a quarterback after Tom Brady.
Well, listen, let's be real. Who can really replace the GOAT, right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. Like,
but if you're
even
that good
got
of a coach, you make
halfway-
the playoffs.
even
make
if you
the
got
playoffs,
a
at least.
halfway decent quarterback, they probably make the playoffs, right? But they just miss so miserably, right? And he's not the greatest coach of all time for his personnel choices, right? He tried to push Tom Brady out the door for old Dingleberry that can't stay on the field and is on his
Jimmy
fifth
G.
team. Jimmy G, right? Like that was what caused the rift, which eventually led him to leave Tom
Yeah.
Brady, right? Like, think about that. He was not a great evaluator of talent. He was a great X's and O's guy, right?
He's not a
Like,
good GM.
no, that's what
No.
I mean. He's not a great
But as
evaluator
a
of
head
talent.
coach, as a head coach, he brought the most out of people. especially
Right.
on
He's a
defense.
great motivator. He's a great schemer. He's an X and O guy,
He's
right?
a technical guy.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, to me, if they three-peat, and if you think about it, they've done it three different ways, really, right? Like it was a little bit of defense last year, but in the Super Bowl, they put out all the stops. Travis Kelce looked like his old self, like that offense was humming, right? But this year, it's not really offense humming. It's straight defense. Like defense is winning them.
Game manager.
Right. So they are winning three different ways. That shows you the true brilliance of Andy Reid. And it's not all him, right? He's got the right coordinators. We talk about Spags on defense, right? Like there probably isn't anybody better in the playoffs, history-wise, as a defensive coordinator. The dude just like steps in the mind of the other team's offensive coordinator. Like
Dick LeBeau's going to say something about that.
That's fine, but I'm just saying, like if he ain't number one, he's in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I give Andy Reid all the credit in the world for all of that, right?
My last question to Austin before we go on to our Week 10 picks. My last question to Austin is: if we get the matchup that you want us, and we see it's the Lions and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs win, is there what do you do if you're the Lions? What's the next step?
I don't know, man, because your window's open right now. Your window's open before you have to pay all these guys, right? Because they have to pay a bunch of people. I mean, I don't know what the next step is really, because you're going to lose your offensive coordinator. He's gone. He's going to be a head coach. So your window is open this season. Because we've seen what happens. We've seen what happens when you lose your coordinators, man. You're not the same.
And there's going to be about 7 or 8 jobs open at the end of the year.
This window is now, man. That's why I think they more went and did that trade with the Browns today, because they know they got to win this year.
That was a perfect segue to my next question for the panel. Ben Johnson, he's in his bag all year. Is he going to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean,
sign him up, bro. He came out today saying he wants to make sure he's the play caller if he's the head coach, which we all know he will be. It's like, dude, you match that with the offense they have over there. Why not? I mean, you see what he did with Detroit. Why not?
Yeah, but that's with a polished veteran who understands and is, is like ingratiated in that offense, right? Like
Chicago,
you don't like that. You don't like that,
offensive
Alex?
line. You got to build that offense.
No, listen, I
absolutely
think,
I agree. Offensive line.
I think it's a great choice for Chicago and for him, right? Because Caleb, as much as I don't think he's what everybody thinks he is, he's still a good quarterback. He's not a bum, right? He's not a bust. He's got talent. I just don't know what he's going to do in the big moments. I just really don't. I don't have confidence with him in the big moments. So
it's hard to determine that yet.
I think if you don't,
let me tell you this:
if you don't fix that offensive line, you're done, right? Like it doesn't matter what head coach you got; he'll be gone in 2 years, right? So, like,
I agree.
My focus, if I'm him getting in there, my focus if I'm the head coach, if I'm named and I know I'm the head coach, is offensive line. We figure out how we get the right offensive line, not just big names, not just big contracts, because they did that. They spent some money, right? But it didn't work. So you need to figure out what you need in the right positions at the, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you this, dude. If Eagles don't make the Super Bowl, they're gonna fire Sirianni. And I'll tell you right now, Ben Johnson, woo! You put him over there in Philly. Come on, man. You set up with the offensive line, you set up with a running back, and you set up with weapons.
I think you could.
That'll be a hot destination for Ben Johnson.
I think you could put
something like that.
I think you could put anybody there right now and
probably
get the locker room back, bud.
Sirianni got to go, man.
Let's get into Week 10 pick 'em. Thursday night, we got a banger. 4 and 5 Bengals are going and traveling to Baltimore. We're playing against Baltimore, who are 6 and 3. Austin, you get to pick first.
Going Baltimore.
Alex or Fogg?
Ravens.
I'm going Baltimore. Alex?
Ravens.
Okay, Ravens it is. The New York Giants are 2 and 7. They travel to Carolina and play Carolina, who's also 2 and 7. Alex?
This is, man, I got to give it to the Giants because of their defensive line, but this is going to be an ugly game, bud.
I agree. Bob?
Yep, Giants.
This game's.
I'm going to go.
This game in London?
Yes. No, it's in Germany.
Oh, man. Flip of a coin here.
Yeah, I'll go with Giants just because their defense, like Alex said. But I really do think, Fogg, we talked about this before. I really think the Giants might pull the plug on Brian Dabble.
Yeah. Even though they say they won't.
Austin?
I'm going to go Panthers.
Patriots are 2 and 7. They travel to Chicago and play Chicago, who's 4 and 4. Fogg, you get to go first.
The Bears got to bounce back from that just shit show they put on in Arizona. So I'm going to go with the Bears.
You go Bears?
Yeah, the Bears.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots are one of those teams that's going to be looking for a new head coach at the end of this year. If they're not, then I don't know what they're doing. But, yeah, I got to go with the Bears here. They got to win this game. They don't win this game, you can kiss them playoff chances completely out the window.
Yeah.
Austin?
You know what, man? I think the head coach lost the locker room after seeing what DJ Moore said today. I'm going to go the Patriots.
Ooh. Hot take.
And,
It's huh?
yeah, DJ Moore set me on a different tone, man.
Oh, walking off the play during the play?
No, he said in the podcast today, they asked him, do you think the coach lost the locker room? And he said, I can't talk about that.
No, his exact words is, I'm not going to say no.
Oh, I'm not going to say no. That's what it was.
I'm not going to say no.
Come on, man. That alone is like, all right, bro, you lost it.
That's funny, Austin. Let's make that 2 for 2. I'm also picking the Patriots. I had the Patriots winning this game today as my upset of the week. All right, next game. Buffalo Bills are 7-2. They travel to Indy and play Indy, who is 4 and 5. Indy doesn't know where their head is from their ass because they don't know who to start at quarterback. We're going to go with Joe Flacco for the rest of the year, they said. We're not going to develop the rookie anymore. My pick here is the Buffalo Bills. Too much crap is going on with Indy. Alex? Wake up, bitch.
Bills, I was muted. Sorry.
Go to bed. Austin?
Buffalo.
Fogg.
Bills.
Love it. The Minnesota Vikings are 6-2. They travel to Jaguars, blah, 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 2 and 7. We're all in the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see when Doug Peterson's last game is going to be.
I was just about to tell you that, Fogg. I thought he was going to get fired after our game.
Yeah.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I think he's chopping up.
You're cutting out,
Yeah,
bud.
your internet,
You're
dude.
freezing
Your internet sucks.
Yeah,
Too many people logged in.
He froze. Boo, 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 boo.
Are you guys going for the Broncos and Chiefs game?
$5
we're all going Chiefs.
Whopper Junior Duo. Get 2 for $5.
Oh, yeah, $5 Whopper Junior deal. Let's go get some.
Game winning drive sponsored by Burger King.
Oh man, it ain't
Your way.
sponsored by Drew's Internet. That's for dang sure, bro.
He's got that cricket.
Cricket
Sound like some-
Mobile.
Sound like Star Wars, bro. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I thought people were done using AOL.
yeah, dude. It's deep. Oh man, what do you think about Sirianni, Fog?
I can't stand him, man. I'm glad we saw what I got home and I watched the game on Sunday, and I was just watching. I'm like, how are you like? He left so many points, like his play
At least
call,
9.
his decision making. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Just take the fucking points. I'm watching my fantasy players, and I'm like, 22-0. Let me switch over to the Green Bay Detroit game because I had Jahmyr Gibbs and Jalen Reed in that game. And I'm watching, and then
he's back. What's up, bud?
The ticker comes across and it goes 22-16. I said, what the fuck is happening? What did I miss? I had to go back to the Eagles game. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Do you have to put another $10 on your Cricket Wireless internet?
You need to get another light so you can see your dumbass. The 6-3 Falcons are going against the Saints at New Orleans, who are 2-7. Are we all on the Falcons?
Yeah.
Yep.
Falcons.
Okay.
Saints are a dumpster fire too.
Yeah, they are.
I agree. The 49ers are 4-4. They travel to Tampa Bay, play Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay, 4-5. Are we all on San Francisco, or do we have some mixed feelings about this?
I have mixed feelings just because, like, Baker's, like I told you, swayed my opinion of him, man. I don't. He's not a.
Miss him.
He's not as dumpster fire as I thought he was. No, I still don't want him as my franchise quarterback. But I'm not saying he can't be a above average quarterback in the right system with the right players. I'm not saying that at all anymore.
Alex, just
listen, bud.
know that you guys fucked up. It's that simple.
Bud. You
it's
fucked over. You fucked over
say.
75 quarterbacks' careers.
Say,
Stop
bud.
talking,
That's
bro.
You
can never talk to me about quarterbacks.
You traded all your contracts.
You had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and you got like 3 playoff wins combined.
Bro.
Shut
you
up.
You guys ruined legacies.
You're fucking up Justin Herbert's career. Jesus, man.
You're terrible.
You're garbage.
Cleveland is a guy who's a massage therapist.
That
That's about it.
Jesus.
That's all we know about the Cleveland Browns. Just move
on.
Move on.
Yep.
Stop blaming Baker. You guys held Baker down.
Oh,
you do more than you could.
We held him down.
Jesus. Y'all traded for wrong people at the wrong time.
Yeah, okay.
That's
all right.
simple.
Hurry up.
Exactly.
49ers.
I got the 49ers too. Fog?
49ers.
Austin?
Niners.
Steelers
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
They go and play at Washington Commanders. This is a banger. Commanders are 7-2. Austin, who you got?
Go Steelers, but I got Commanders.
Oh, jeez. Of course, yeah. The Philly fan.
I'm taking the Commanders.
Alex.
Commanders, man. Go ahead. Do your bam, 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 bam. You're going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers? Hurry up, man. Let's go.
I got the Commanders as well.
Hey, good job.
2-6 Titans are going against the Chargers at 5-3. Alex is going to say Titans and then say, just kidding. I'm going to take the Chargers. I got the Chargers getting 5-3.
Yeah, this
man, there was a lot of pent-up anger with that.
Yeah.
So much pit.
Listen, when you speak facts, people get offended. I don't understand it, man. Oh, bud.
We all on the Chargers?
Chargers.
Yeah. Chargers.
All right.
I love how this guy talks crap, but his city was so bad, the fans,
they left.
They moved.
The Jets are 3-6.
Mute me again, clown. Facts are facts. You bum.
Cardinals are 5-4. like Alex and Fogg and myself and Austin said, the Jets have to win out.
Yeah.
Are the Jets going to win this game?
No, Cardinals are beating them. And I don't even think it's close.
I have the Cardinals winning too.
Yeah.
I
Fogg?
got Jets.
Of course you do,
Cardinals.
because it supports your
Yeah,
wild
you need
card
the
thing.
Jets to win this.
Yeah.
I think Devontae's Adams found it with A-Rod again.
Bro.
In
they
the
gotta-
game of the week,
they
we
gotta
have
win the
Eagles,
next 8
who are
games.
And then Buda Baker's gonna find him.
6-2, go and travel to Jerry World and
Eagles,
play the
come
Cowboys.
on, hurry up. Let's go.
And Cooper Rush and Trey-
The Cowboys are such a dumpster fire. They almost are as bad as the Browns. Hurry up, dude. Jesus, let's go. Move on. It's like
There's not enough light.
it's almost fucking 10 o'clock. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Jerry
Eagles.
Jones is gonna look to fire the GM and then have to look in the mirror and go, shit, I can't fire him yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Fuck it, I'll fire my son.
Why did they not flex this last game to Monday? Why did they not flex this game to Monday and move that god awful game, Dolphins
It's 10
and
o'clock.
Rams?
Lions against the Texans. Lions are traveling
That's
to
gonna be a good
Houston.
game.
Yeah.
Austin, who you got?
I'm actually gonna go Texans on this game.
Okay. Any reason why?
I just feel like Houston's gonna win.
They're gonna pick the ball and run the ball, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Alex,
breeze blew by my butthole.
It's gonna be a great game.
I said, "Oh, Texans." I'm gonna go with the Lions. Listen,
Get closer to the light.
listen. I'm gonna go with the Lions because the Texans have not really impressed me this year. I think they've slowed down, and now that they've lost Stephon Diggs, I think
Nico's back.
I think they're gonna hold. Yeah, but I think they're gonna hold on to because that division is so terrible. I think they're just gonna hold on and win the division. But I got the Lions here.
Bogasaurus, who you got?
Man. I'm gonna go with the Lions, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Texans won this one.
Exactly.
I would not be shocked if they pulled off the upset. I don't want to say it's a must win, but this might be the must win game for the Texans. Because they win this game, the Colts lose, they are in pole position now at this point.
No, they need to win.
But to counter what you're saying, Alex, I'm with you on this because the Lions need to win too far because they need to separate themselves to get that number 1 seed. So this is a big game for them to once again match themselves against one of the topper teams in the NFL. I think it's just too much to deal with Houston right now. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to be able to go on this season without Stephon Diggs. And that O-line, we talked about it before, Fogg. 30 sacks on season so far this year. Yeah. It's one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. And I think I don't know how Joe Mix has been able to do what he's been able to do. It's been a godsend for them. But I think it's just too much for the Lions. For the Texans to overcome the Lions. I got the Lions winning this game. Miami goes to L.A. Miami is coming off 2 losses. Now that 2 is back. We lost against Buffalo last week in a heartbreaker. Miami's 2-6. They're pretty much right, Alex. They have to win out to even have a shot to make the playoffs. So they lose this game. Are they done?
They got to win out to have a shot to what? Give to another concussion and freaking he can die on the field. Listen, man,
thank you for being Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I think the Dolphins are done. Dolphins are done, man. Dolphins are done. The goose is cooked. They're done. The Rams are going to win this game. Hurry up. Fucking big.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going on a tangent right now, dude. No?
No, Dolphins do need to win out. That was excellent synopsis, right? They got to win the next
Can't use
fucking.
synopsis.
They got to win the next fucking 9 games in a row, and they got to play the Bills in one of those
Oh, you
games.
think there's 9 games left?
Bro, they have 8 wins. It's 17 games in the season. Do you not know math? Pull out your shoes so you can count on your toes to get that high. Jesus.
It's week 10, bro. There's only 18 weeks. Fog.
I'm going with the Rams.
His temples are popping out. I'm going Rams. Look at that face. Awesome.
I'm going Rams.
All right.
Oh shit.
Jeez Louise. Austin, any final words? before we get out of here?
No, man. I hope everybody's doing well. Keep doing. Oh, what's up, Colt Dog? I hope everyone's doing well, man. I hope all the families are good, and can't wait to talk to you guys again.
Alex, have a rant ready next week.
I know, dude.
Alex, you have any rants that we can get from you? You haven't been on since the last Eclipse.
Oh,
So-
really? I missed 2 fucking weeks, and you got all this fucking, you got all this business for me, huh? 5 years in the podcast, I missed like half as much. Eat my dick, bro.
No one wants to eat it.
There's the rant.
All right, yeah,
Ah!
that's why I got 4 kids. It's cool though, bro. that I know about. You know, I'm just
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, boys. That's it for us tonight. We will be back. We will be back in 2 weeks, unless these guys want to do one by themselves next week. Other than that, stay safe. I know it's election night tonight. Be safe tomorrow. It's going to be crazy the next couple of days, unfortunately. But other than that, man, we appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a great weekend.
My daughter.
Great week. Great weekend.